It's not fall yet, but I am wearing the cutest, comfiest sweater that I got from Salvation Army the other day. Because we're trying to summon fall, you know, fall style, all that cute stuff. I went on my Instagram story the other day and I asked you guys if you wanted to see a chit chat get ready with me, and not just like a normal chit chat get ready with me, one where I focus primarily on answering your questions about fitness, health, faith, whatever you may have questions on. Surprisingly enough, I got a really good response from you guys, and you guys really wanted to see this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. So before I start my makeup, I always, I guess, prime with Frey Skincare Protect Me. This actually has SPF in it, but it's just a moisturizer and it smells really, really good. Prime my skin with that just because I like to moisturize before I start putting a bunch of other junk on my face, because I'm obsessed with moisturizing and I don't want to have wrinkles when I'm old. And I feel like this makes a barrier between the junk and your actual skin. This has been something that has really saved my skin, you guys. I am not kidding. I think at the start of summer, I stopped wearing foundation. During the winter, I cake on makeup, putting on a lot of foundation to try to make up for the fact that
I'm pasty, like so white.
Oh, I do. Anyways, I took a break from foundation because I just felt like my skin was dull and dull and breaking out. I switched over to CoverGirl BB cream in the shade medium to dark. It's a tinted moisturizer sunscreen. It's kind of like a tinted moisturizer, and it's very lightweight and it gives my skin color, a little tiny bit of coverage, but it just kind of smooths things out to where it kind of evens out your skin. I don't really know if I'll ever switch back to full-on foundation unless it's for like weddings or special occasions. This has been a game changer. So I just do a little squeeze. I already feel like I'm talking so much. And the best part about this is you can rub it in with your hands. Honestly, guys, the shade that I'm rubbing on is darker than my natural skin color, but it makes me look like I have just like a nice summer tan, instead of where if you wear the wrong shade of foundation, you look like you are an Oompa Loompa. Jules asked if I will ever do a video about my testimony. For those of you who don't know, a testimony is kind of, at least if this is related to your faith, it's kind of how you got to where you are today, how your faith got as strong as it is. My testimony, I don't really share it that often. I feel like some people know bits and pieces of it, but I know that there is value in sharing things about yourself, personal things that people could relate to, things that people may be struggling with that they don't feel like they can relate to anyone because you're not sharing your story. I guess if more people asked me to share it, I would. Such a part of the past for me, and I'm such a different person now than I was before. I gotta go wet my beauty blender, and I'm just like mad about it. I got my dirty beauty blender wet. Next we're gonna do concealer, and I actually use two different kinds. It kind of depends on the day. I'm almost out of this one, or else I would be using this. LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is very pigmented, so I only use a little bit at a time. I feel like I need to zoom you guys in. Just a little bit goes a very long way, so I just put it like under my eyes, in my little unibrow center, on my chin, and on my mustache, because girls, we got them mustaches, okay? Oh, and like on my eyelid. That is just because I'm lazy and I do not own eyeshadow primer, so I just use my concealer and we blend it out. Now that we look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, I am going to set this. I don't bake usually. I don't really know how to do it, but I do use this Wet n Wild contouring palette. I use the white shade and I just like tap a giant contouring brush into the white part and I set it under my eyes, but I press it in. So I think usually when people bake, it's more of like leave extra powder on and let it set and then wipe it off later, and that's just like too much for me. So I actually just pat it in and I find that it works for me, so you know, we just go with it. I missed a zit. I got concealed at, honey. How do you edit your Instagram photos? I love how colorful your feed is. That question is from Kiara or Kiera. I don't know how to say your name, but I'm obsessed with you and the pictures that you take. And I'm extremely flattered and surprised that you want to know how I edit mine. The way that I edit my Instagram pictures is different every time. I don't have themes and I don't buy presets. I use VSCO or Visco Cam. I use Lightroom and I use Photoshop Fix or FX to like brighten certain areas with my finger or darken certain things. To make them more colorful, there's a few things I always do. I turn up highlights, a little bit of the exposure, I turn the shadows way up, and I always turn up the warmth, and I balance the warmth out with like a pink hue or a purple hue. Each picture is so different, and I kind of like tinker with it until it looks similar. I've just never been good at having an Instagram theme, so I try my best, but I'm not a photographer. So if you guys wanted an in-depth video of how I edit my Instagram pictures, which I'm sure nobody does, I could possibly do that. I do my brows next after I do just this part of my face. I kind of hop all over the place, but this brow pencil is some good stuff, you guys. It's the Maybelline Total, Total Temptation. I don't know if that focused for you guys. In the color Soft Brown. Tip of it is angled, which I really, really like. But I always, very, very lightly, I underline, I like line the top of it, and then I just softly fill in this part. So then when it comes out looking kind of like it was stamped on, I take a brush and I just go through my entire eyebrow, and this kind of picks up a little bit of the product and makes it look less dark and less out there. But once you get all of your other makeup on, it won't look as absurd. True story, in high school, no one taught me how to pluck my eyebrow, and I plucked mine so far apart. I spent my entire senior year growing out my eyebrows, which is not a cute or fun or fresh, good and fresh process. Sorry guys, I thought that it was recording. I look like a crazy person, but I just put on this Wet n Wild contour stick in like the places that I would like to contour. So the next question is from Natalie, and it says, how do you combat unproductivity and procrastination? Just say I do have days and sometimes weeks where I just don't feel like I've been productive, and that's just kind of life. Something that I've noticed has really, really helped my productivity increase is I make shorter to-do lists. My to-do lists are like day-to-day, only like 5 things tops, and that's because nobody is going to get 20 things done in one day and do each of them to their best ability. And I feel like our society encourages putting 25 things on your to-do list and then beating yourself up for not getting, you know, all of them done. And that's just not a good mindset to be in. I make a shorter to-do list with 5 things, and I get those 5 things done, and I do them well. And I also have like a reward system set up for myself, so I'll be like, I'll do the things that I don't want to do first, the things that I kind of hate doing, and I'll reward myself with little things. So I don't always love to do all of my business updates and stuff like that, So I'll do those first thing in the morning, and my reward after I get them done is my cup of coffee. And so I kind of always have to remind myself, if I'm half-heartedly doing this, then I'm probably half-heartedly doing a lot of other things in my life. So try to be 100% consistent and 100% in everything that you do, because
that's what we're supposed to do.
Since I just contoured with the stick, which I just kind of followed my natural contour place, back in with my Wet n Wild contouring palette with this darker shade, I tap my brush in it and kind of blow it off, and then just brush it right over where I just contoured. I'm like pretty gross when it comes to my makeup. I don't really clean my eyeshadow brushes. I use Tarte Clay and Play, and I open it up and I take this like blush or Instinct, the shade Instinct, and I grab my fluffy brush and I put this all over my eyelid and a little bit up towards my brow. And putting an eyeshadow down as your base helps everything else blend out smoothly. Unblended eyeshadow, because that's not a look, honey. That is very, very 2012. Ember, you can tell I like this shade a lot. It's like almost gone. And I just tap my brush in it and I pat it into the corner of my eye and then blend. And I take this dark brown, it's Timber, and I tap just a little bit, not a lot at all. This is actually a contouring shade, but I use it as eyeshadow, and I pat this down close to my eye lash line and then bring it in to kind of create more of a smoky eye. Okay. That's my eyes. They're very basic. Shows or movie recommendations. I am a crime show addict. I love crime shows. I've watched Dexter, which is pretty dark, but it's good. Fringe is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. They don't stream it on Netflix anymore. I love The Office. I love Parks and Rec. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love the TV series that just released on Netflix a couple months ago called Safe is also really good. How did you start your fitness journey, and do I need a personal trainer to see results? I need to sip some tea like I'm thirsty, okay? Okay, first off, right off the bat, no, you do not need a personal trainer. You do not need a coach. Coaches are very, very helpful for people who just need a boost of accountability, the extra discipline, the extra motivation, encouragement, strategy. It's someone who's been where you currently are and successfully gotten to where you want to be, and so that's always helpful. It never hurts to hire a coach. But as far as succeeding and reaching your goals without one, it's so doable. You just need to do your research. I looked up every possible article you could ever think of. I was looking up every workout on the internet, and I was trying to see what the similarities were, what the differences were, what I enjoyed. I tried everything. I tried all cardio, and weightlifting really stuck with me, and I've always wanted the look of like fit, muscular, and healthy, and I knew that it wasn't the best way to get it by doing tons of cardio and under eating. I've never been able to just under eat and eat only salad, and I had tried that multiple times. So it's definitely doable to reach your goals without a fitness coach. However, I do recommend reaching out to people who maybe already have reached the goals that you are hoping to reach and just pick their brain. Jazz asked how to find motivation for college students, or motivation to wake up early and exercise and to kind of just, motivate yourself to reach your goals. And the biggest thing I can say to you is motivation pretty much doesn't exist. You can inspire yourself by looking at other people's Instagram accounts. You can inspire yourself by watching a video. You can inspire yourself by reading quotes. Motivation is just, I don't know, how bad do you want it? How much does it mean to you? You know that you're not going to get there by sleeping in every day and skipping your workouts and skipping and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. One day you're going to realize that you'd put it off for so long that I think it becomes like, you know what, I got to do this for myself. But my biggest tips for people who are starting out is take it slow, ask for help, have an accountability partner. I hadn't put mascara on since I look very flat right now. I use Maybelline Total Temptation, and I just kind of, you guys know the drill. I blink when I put my mascara on, and I roll the brush up to kind of lift my lashes. I don't use lash curlers because I'd used them so much in middle school and I feel like they broke my lashes. I kind of just hope that my mascara will curl my lashes enough onto my lashes. So I like to do 2 coats because it makes them look extra voluminous. This question is from Liz, and she says tips for recommendations or tips for someone who's trying to start a fitness Instagram. Boy, oh boy, do I have some tips for you, girlfriend. You're gonna get hate. People who don't understand why you're sharing about it. Fitness and health is such a touchy subject for so many people because either they have a bad relationship with fitness and health, they have a bad relationship with themselves, they're insecure. It's different for everyone, and some people just don't like it. They don't want to see about it. So you need to know why you're doing it, and you need to be 100% sure of yourself and just stay consistent with it. There's going to be people who love you and people who don't, and that's just it. So stick with it even when the people start to kind of, you know, make fun of you for it, because people probably will. Don't expect everyone to understand your love and your passion for fitness. Pretty much it. Make friends on Instagram, find other accounts that you look up to, find other people that you look up to, make friends with them, and they can help support you. And I gotta check my phone. We're going in with Hello Halo in the shade Halo Goodbye. Oh, hello, halo. Remember those walls I built? Beyonce is my queen. That's what it made me think of. And I just do a little swipey on my cheekbone, like that, and my hair is in the way. Lips, right here. A touch on the tip of my nose. We blend that out.
I love highlighter. I love highlighter. I love highlighter. I love it.
I love it. So, the next part of my really ghetto makeup routine is I take Maybelline Master Chrome. It's gold. Tap. We tap, 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 until you have a lot of product on there, basically. And I just kind of swipey over where I already highlighted. And this just mixes to make the most perfect color. It's kind of nice too, because the first highlighter we used was a liquid highlighter. Alright, Olivia asks, do you still work out on your period? If so, is it just less intense, or do you just do arms and abs, or still do legs? This is a really, really great question because our cycles are so crazy. Don't aim for PRs, don't aim to lift heavy, and don't aim to train to complete exhaustion when you're on your period. Unless you really feel good doing that, I wouldn't recommend it. It is tempting because during that time we're really bloated and we feel really bad about ourselves, so it's almost like we want to punish ourselves in the gym and lose more weight, but it's just bloat. It'll go away. I train less heavy on my period. I still work out on the days that I can. I don't really, work out any less, but my workouts are more just focusing on getting moving. I move, I stretch, I still do legs, I just don't do heavy legs. Focus on just moving your body and staying active. And then the week after, sometimes that requires more rest days. Just kind of go with the flow of your cycle. There's no wrong or right way to do it, but I definitely don't recommend heavy lifting and focusing on getting personal bests and stuff in the gym the week of your cycle, because it's already so much energy is being taken out of your body. Smaller tip brush. I don't even know what brand this is because it's so old. And then I have this Lorac Nude Necessities palette with these shimmery shades, and I just dip it in. They don't have the names of the shade, but it's just a really pretty gold shade. I dip it in and I pat it in my inner corner. So put a little bit on my brow bone of the same shade. Next question is from Grace. She said, what's the tea on this secret project? I don't know already. I've been working on a secret project. I've posted a little bit about it on my Instagram story. Honestly, not that much. So I'm working on a devotional. I don't know if it'll be like daily, weekly, or monthly. I'm kind of just going with the flow. I had like an outline of what I wanted to go over. Kind of went over the things that Jesus really spoke to me that led me to where I am today. It'll have a reading, it'll have a highlight passage, it'll have a little Devo to go over, and then it'll have space to journal out. It's gonna come with free printables that you can print out and hang up in your office, in your car, on your mirror in the bathroom, on your refrigerator, and more stuff than that. So I don't know when it will be releasing, but it will hopefully be releasing before fall. She also asked, what would I tell myself at my lowest point? It's not in your control, and stop trying to control things. Stop trying to take control of your life, and stop feeling so much responsibility and so much burden because it's not yours to carry. I had really bad anxiety and depression, and I still struggle with it sometimes. Crap's gonna hit the fan, and the cool part is that Jesus knows. He knows the crap's gonna hit, and he's already worked out a solution. You just have to be patient and hopeful, because sometimes it takes a lot longer to work through the crap than we think, but it doesn't mean that we're not working through it, and it doesn't mean that he hasn't already made a way out. This is the L'Oreal Color Rich Shine in the shade Shining Peach. Like a lip gloss. It's so shiny. It's the perfect color. And I really love it. I will link all of the products down in the description box below. This is the finished makeup look. It's very glowy and just simple, but also enough that I feel like you could wear it for like a special day. I don't know. Next question is tips for someone who is a beginner in the gym and with fitness. But my top tips are to focus primarily on your nutrition at first. I always focus on having a veggie on my plate, a healthy carb source like rices, potatoes, sweet potato. I always try to have a carb source, or fruit's also a good carb source, and a protein source. So I do a lot of chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, fish, tilapia, all of that. So focus on nutrition first, because that is the biggest part of seeing results with your fitness journey. You can't outwork a crappy diet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm gonna link all of the products that I used, including my skincare, down below. I have a discount code for you for the skincare. I'll link all the products below. If you have any other questions, comment them down below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.